The overseas expansion of the Mycenaeans has brought them into contact with other cultures that simultaneously pose opportunities and dangers. In a defiant but inspired act, Paris, Prince of Troy, has kidnapped the beautiful Helen of Sparta and taken her back to his home. The fury of your brother Menelaus, Helen's husband and king of Sparta, knows no bounds, and he has appealed to you, Agamemnon, king of Mycenae, for help. Jumping at the opportunity for war and renown, you have assembled a vast army bent on the destruction of Troy. The city-state lies far across the Aegean Sea, however, and the campaign will require a strong navy to launch a sea-borne invasion of the Trojan heartland. Go forth dauntlessly. Eternal fame and glory await.
And with that, I welcome you all to a new episode of our Glory of Greece campaign. And today we are going to fight in the Trojan War. Our objectives are as follows. We have to kill Hector, Prince of Troy, we have to kill Paris, and we have to capture the treasure of Priam. We are supposed to establish supremacy at the sea to control offshore resources and to clear the way for our invasion. We are going to need a large force to overcome the Trojan defenses, and we are limited to the Bronze Age and cannot advance to the Iron Age. And now it is time to begin. Well, first of all, we have a couple of bowmen and we have a couple of normal peasants around. First things first, let's make sure that all of our people have something to do. We are going to need some people who are going to take care of wood, so that we can actually establish all of these fleets that we are going to need. So this is going to be one of our main priorities. Okay, so far not a lot has happened. We have begun to build up our economy. We have a couple guys on food and wood, and we have 2 people on wood and stone. Once this tower is up and running, we are going to have an additional person on wood, and we are now beginning to recruit our navy. And I think as soon as we have about 6 ships, we should be strong enough to take the fight to the enemy. Until that point, we are going to get as many upgrades on our forces as possible, and we are going to make sure that we are going to gather as much wood as possible so that we can create a forward operating base. And to skip some time, we are going to use the ship that we already have to hunt a lone fisherman. Okay, we have found the first enemy war gallery. Let's get our archers down here to greet the enemy ship. And with this, our first enemy is defeated. Okay, we have been exploring for a little while and we have found a very suitable island with a large amount of gold and stone. We have found a large amount of fish over here, and we have also found an enemy, and we have now taken our very first casualty. Not that it would matter, a lot more ships are constantly going to be ordered until we reach full naval supremacy. Okay, it looks like the Trojans are willing to attack us head on with a very poorly built scout ship. But it has a very large amount of range. Not to worry though, we are going to upgrade our forces as soon as we have the needed resources, and then they can do nothing to stop us. And in the meantime, we are going to hunt down the enemy fishing fleet. The enemy scout ships do not stand a chance, and now we have destroyed the next enemy fishing boat. We are currently also building up some upgrades for our archers, and we have enough resources to begin the construction of a few more ships. And it looks like we have found the enemy port, meaning that Troy is down here. And it looks like this place might be a suitable location for a little forward operating base. This is what we are currently saving a lot of our wood for. For now, as the enemy seems to lack the option to effectively fight back, we are going to focus our attacks on the enemy docks to keep the enemy occupied. And whenever our ships are too greatly damaged, we are going to send them out to scout a little bit to find a suitable location for our next objective. And I have to say that this place looks actually pretty good. Now, we have 2 more ships out. And we can now start the production of a few transports. And it looks like our fleet is actually getting ambushed. We are going to lose one of our ships, but we should be able to easily defeat the remaining enemy ships. In the meantime, we are building up transports and we are building up some villagers so that we can get a few guys out. And down here it looks like the enemy might try to build up an invasion force. Let's get our guys ready. And we have our scout ship ready. Okay, enemy invasion fleet destroyed. Down here we have lost one of our ships. This ship needs to come back so that we can repair it. You guys are getting ready. And up here we need to build up a new storage pit for those gold reserves down here. Okay, the first part of our plan was a success. We have now started to damage the enemy port a lot more. Over here we are building up a dock and a town center, and over here we are getting a lot more wood. This means that soon we are going to have an option to create a lot more boats if needed, and we are going to have a fallback position in the case that our invasion fails. It looks like the area down here is very lightly defended. We're going to take out this tower, then we are going to build up our academies down here, recruit a large amount of hoplites, and then we should be successful. Down here, these guys need to stop producing wood. They need to mine a lot more gold. We have 8 people on wood, we have 4 people on food. I'm going to send this guy also on wood production. And the enemy starts to construct a sentry tower and they're bringing up stone throwers. They are trying to diversify their portfolio of weaponry. Let's make sure we are destroying these stone throwers before they can become an issue. Okay, our next transports are here, but we lack the necessary strength to simply push through. The main goal right now is to destroy their port, and then we're going to focus on that sentry tower. But the enemy continues to build new ships. And it looks like they got another transport out, trying to distract our forces. We're going to take care of that. And then we should have an easy time dealing with the enemy. Okay, we have now a pretty strong war fleet prepared. We are going to take 3 ships to guard the way over here to make sure that we are not getting any nasty surprises. And down here we might have the option to harass the enemy a little bit further. A second transport is going to be out in a minute. And we're going to take our 2 heroes and these 2 repairmen over here to build up our base on the enemy mainland. The main objective is simple. If we can, I want to destroy this tower with the support of our ships. And in the meantime, we are going to also destroy this stone thrower that is, of course, now attacking us in the worst opportunity ever. Okay, it looks like we can immediately abandon this attack. This does not look good for us. Let's get everyone back on the boat. And it looks like, for the moment, we are leaving. Our little probing attack didn't work out as intended. But that is, of course, not a massive problem. We have manpower, we have resources, we are simply going to build up an academy over here. And we are going to recruit a bunch of soldiers. And it looks like we are actually able to bait out the enemy's main force. They have a large amount of forces, but it looks like we might be able to do something here. Their tower is our main objective. Our fleet is unfortunately getting shot to bits, but the enemy should soon run out of gold reserves. And within some time we should be strong enough to attack the enemy once more. And at that time our attack is going to be successful. Okay, second time's the charm. We once more have some builders in the crosshair of our ships. And our own ships are advancing once more. Let's get our hoplites out. And our navy needs to take care of this stone thrower. No, it is of course out of range. Let's get our ships back. And you guys need to play defensively. Let's get the next waves of our guys out, and these people immediately have to build up a tower. An academy or maybe 2. And I also want a siege engine. Stone throwers out, they are hitting our people, but now we are able to fire back. Let's get all of our hoplites out. We are going to attack the enemy head on. Our heroes are going to guard our siege cap. And we have unfortunately lost one of our builders. The enemy sends out their cavalry. We should be very well prepared to stop them. And it looks like we have lost Achilles. Well, that stuff happens, and now it is absolutely necessary that we hold out until our first academy is standing and operational. I do not want to abandon this attack. And yes, we have our first academy out. Let's order everyone to build up units. And you guys need to make sure that this tower does not get built. And I have the vague feeling that we have almost lost all of our heroes, but I do not think that this is a victory condition. Okay, we are now officially out of people. Well, with the exception of our Achilles, who just ran past everyone. Can you just get down here? I want this stone thrower out, and I want to make sure that these towers are not getting built, and I want our camp protected. You can do whatever you want a little bit later. And in the meantime, I am quickly going to recruit a couple more people. We have a tower out and we are now building up our next camp. And over here we have one of our hoplites who is unable to do anything. Come on, what is it with you? Achilles, get out of the enemy camp and make sure that you destroy the target that I assigned to you. Okay, now we have to push in. The enemy has another stone thrower out. We need to take care of it. Our ships are hopefully strong enough to take care of the enemy tower. Yeah, and the enemy stone thrower is out of reach. It is quick enough to run away from us because we are getting distracted by literally anything. But we are now beginning the mass construction of academies. And I want a siege camp of our own. We're going to build it up over here so that we can take care of those towers. Holy hell, guys. Could you just please do what I tell you? And we are finally now getting a few more of our villagers in. Unfortunately, the one that we had down here died. And even though significant reinforcements were ordered, so far we didn't get any out. Now, you four, you're going to build up our siege camp. But it looks like we have broken the first wave of enemy attackers. We're now immediately going to order the production of 2 catapults and we are going to build up 2 more academies. We now have the control of the battlefield. And thanks to that, we can also start to attack the enemy siege workshop. Okay, we have our very first stone thrower. Wonderful. Let's get this guy on the sentry tower. The rest of us are going to target the enemy academy. And all of the finished academies are going to send their troops immediately into the enemy's facilities. Wonderful. It looks like we are now making some progress. We see some enemy soldiers down here. But I think once the enemy stables are out, together with the enemy's towers, we should have this more or less in the bag. Wonderful. There goes the enemy academy. I do not think that they have another. And I want all of you to hunt down the civilian population of Troy. And now we are going to target their town center. Well, except you. You are going to hit that guy down here who is building up an academy within our lines. Good shot. All of our guys hit the enemy town center. Half of you, you're going to hit the enemy siege workshop. We're going to ignore the enemy civilians for a moment. And we have found the next defensive line. Let's get all of our hoplites on that. Whoop, they got another stone thrower out. We need to deal with that first. And we found more stone throwers over there. Let's push up. We might be able to completely ignore those defenses. You guys are going to deal with the enemy siege workshop, and it looks like this is our objective. We haven't found any of the enemy heroes yet. But I guess they must be over here. Yeah, there is Hector. I do not know where Paris is. Come on, you guys, break through. And unfortunately it looks like our hoplites were defeated. The enemy is sending people down. Let's get our catapults back if we can. Yeah, it looks like our catapults are gone, but we have also defeated the majority of the enemy military. Therefore, it shouldn't really matter, and we have the resources to build a lot more. Okay, there's Paris, there is Hector. Let's send everyone that we can down there, and let's get our civilians out to build up a new tower, if possible. Oh yeah, Hector is just crumbling. Very good, very good. Unfortunately, both of our builders have been killed. Very sad. Anyway, we are now building up the next attack wave. If possible, I want to destroy the stone thrower and push immediately onto the artifact. This should be the end of this battle. Can we get the boy through? We're almost there, and come on, is it enough? No, okay, it looks like we actually do not have to destroy the towers. This battle is over.
Just when all seemed lost, the scheme of wily Odysseus, king of Ithaca, has succeeded. Grey-eyed Athena surely smiles upon you as the Trojans, drunk on the euphoria of their supposed victory, carelessly threw caution to the wind. They dragged Odysseus's work, a large wooden horse containing a band of your finest men, inside the city. In the dark of the night, your men emerged and opened the gates to the city. The air is filled with the fearful yells of the surprised Trojans as your intrepid warriors flood through the streets, torching the city and carrying its wealth and enslaved population back to your ships.
And that is, of course, a very convenient lie that we're going to tell back home, because it sounds a lot better than we have thrown wave upon wave of our own men against the enemy until they couldn't resist us no more. Unsurprisingly, we had the best military and the strongest economy, and we are lacking behind technology a fair bit. We killed over 127 of our enemies, we razed 25 buildings and suffered 57 losses. Over here you can see our economy, our religion and our technology score. And in the timeline you can see the slow and then rapid decline of our enemy. And if you're interested, here is a brief history of the Trojan War. Despite its rich narrative and speculatory level of detail, the Homeric Iliad and its tale of the Trojan War was widely considered to be fictitious until the archaeological discovery of Heinrich Schliemann in the 19th century. Schliemann made a fantastic set of discoveries at the dig site near Hisarlik in the northwest region of modern-day Turkey. The archaeological site was situated upon the lucrative trade route leading from the Aegean through the Bosporus to the Black Sea, providing a plausible incentive for the historical conflict. As time went on, numerous levels of the city were unearthed. One location, known now as Troy 7a, corresponds remarkably well to the dates of the Trojan War given by several classical historians and chroniclers. Additionally, analysis of its destruction layer yielded remnants of weapons of war and evidence that the city was obliterated by fire, aligning with ancient and classical accounts of the conclusion of the conflict. Cross-examination of Hittite text with the archaeological evidence linked Troy or Ilium with a great city called Vilusa by the Hittites, which was destroyed by invaders from the west known to them as Ahivaha or Homer's Achaeans. According to the Homeric narrative and several classical myths and tales that grew from it, the conflict was caused by the abduction of Helen of Sparta by Paris, a prince of Troy, with the help of the goddess Aphrodite. After much difficulty, the Mycenaeans, referred to in the epic as Achaeans, Danaans and Argives, crossed the Aegean into Asia Minor and laid siege to the city for 10 long years. As the fight wore on, claiming heroic warriors from both sides, the morale of the Mycenaeans dwindled. Finally, the cunning Odysseus devised a perilous plan to break the stalemate. Constructing a giant wooden horse containing a band of brave warriors, The Mycenaeans then sailed away, hiding their fleet behind the nearby island of Tenedos. The Trojans, desiring not to offend the gods, brought the horse inside the city, allowing the hidden warriors to open the gates in the dark of night. The Mycenaean army stormed in and laid waste to the city, killing most of its population and carrying off its fabled wealth. The Homeric epics, likely the most famous work in the history of Western literature, assured that the memory of the conflict would live on, etched eternally into the pages of history. And with this, our story comes to an end. Next episode, we're going to take part in the colonization of Ionia, and until we meet again, I wish you all a great time.